Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 EX. Car's registered at RF57TTO. Mileage at the start of this road test is just 68,994 miles. The reason we do the road tests is very simple. It's just so customers of ours interested in the vehicles we're advertising actually get to see them in operation, and it is the very car you're seeing in the advert. Also done on the same very quiet country roads, very close to our premises, so it should be representative of what you'd feel if offered a test drive on the car. We're very well aware that lots of our customers now come from the whole, the UK and mainland Europe. So if willing to make the effort to come and see us, the least we can do is actually show you the car in operation. Brief background to this particular car, because it's slightly different from the norm in some ways. This is actually my personal car at the moment. We took it on part exchange a month or so ago from a chap who bought the car from us about 2 years ago and loved it, and has bought another Civic from us. He clearly loves the cars. We're very, very, very happy to have it back, I have to say. It's as you'll know from the advert, a very, very highly specified vehicle. The EX is top of the range anyway, but the amount of goodies that this one's got, particularly from factory fit as well, is very impressive indeed, I must say. It's a very highly equipped car. As I said, we're very, very happy to see this one back. He's kept it really, really nicely as well. Just to go through the car for you though, engine, as you expect with such a low mileage, starts absolutely instantly. No warning lights on the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it should be in one of these cars as well. But that doesn't really tell you the whole story. These engines are wonderful. They're very sweet revving, as you'd expect from a Honda, but they're hushed, they're refined, they've got no harshness to them at all. They're lovely units. They also deliver amazing economy. Now I'm only doing very short trips at the moment, which isn't good for any cars, you probably know. I'm only sort of doing a couple of miles a day in the thing. So I'm getting about sort of 36, 37 to the gallon, which is nothing to what you'd get in normal use. Longer runs, I'm getting somewhere between 45 and 50 to the gallon, which gives you an idea of what they're actually capable of doing. Honda's claim for these are 43, which I think is actually quite conservative. I really do, given what many of my customers have got. Also, incredibly reliable engines. I don't think we've ever touched one, and we've been selling these for 15 odd years. They're just a wonderfully strong unit, they really are. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch is smooth, quiet in operation. Bite point exactly where it should be, and where it should be for such a low mileage car as well. Gearbox is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's a lesson to other manufacturers on how to do it, in all honesty. It's short and throw, it's got a lovely slick synchro mesh to it. It's just really kind of smooth and buttery in operation, but it's dynamic as well. It's, you literally flick it like that. It's just got a wonderful, wonderful action to it that, using your fingertips and the inside of your fingers is the way to. Don't try and grab the gear lever, just guide it, it'll do the rest for you. It's just superb. I can't find any wear in it at all, by the way. Steering on the car, track's absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at all on the car. That's a pet hate of mine, so if it's on there, I'll get it attended to. So I've obviously driven this many miles, on the motorways as well, and there's nothing at all. I can't feel any wear through the steering either. It's tight, it's taut, it's just exactly as it should be, and it's beautifully tuned into the chassis as well, because it's a very dynamic car which loves to be driven with sort of verve and vigour. It responds beautifully. So the corners, it just literally tiniest movement of the steering wheel, and then the chassis rather just goes with it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful setup. It really is. And likewise, as with the steering, the chassis exhibits no clonks or clunks from underneath the car, all absolutely as it should be. But also far, far, far more comfortable than a lot of these road tests and report actually tell you. It's only on the sharpest ridges that it gets caught out, as most cars do in all honesty. But as with all these things, comfort is really a subjective thing. Some people love kind of the pillowy ride of sort of Citroens of old and Renaults and that kind of thing. Problem is, as soon as you start charging around the corners, they flop and slop about, and I find that really uncomfortable. I just want a car that you stay in your seat, you're not falling from side to side, and this is where these cars are so good. And even in the tight corners, it doesn't keel over. There's very little body roll, so you know I can allow it the occasional sort of shudder into a sharp pothole or something. But it's not as uncomfortable as many cars of its in its class. Brakes on the car absolutely fine as well. No pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all. So again, all in very nice order. Looking around the side of the car, he's kept it very much as it went to him, in very nice condition. You know, they're beautifully built cars. There's no squeaks or rattles from the interior of the car at all. Certainly belies the age of the vehicle, which is now what, 11 years old or so. You know, this is real build quality, of course, not what you know the car magazines tell you after sort of 5 minutes of driving a car down the road when it's brand new. You know, this is how a car should be. The dashboard, I just love this interior, which is why I was keen to get back into one again. You know, we sell lots of the newer shape ones, which I love as well. But this dashboard, I think, is just a work of art. It wraps itself around you beautifully. EX model, so you've got the high level sat-nav system working absolutely perfectly, as does the hands-free system, because my phone's currently paired to the car. But it's just a brilliant dashboard. You've got this two-tier design here, which, you know, you've got the high-up speedo display, which means you can just look ahead at the road or the cars in front, but keep an eye on your speed at all times at the corner of your eye. You don't have to take your eye off the road at all. Same with the sat-nav, it's so high up that, again, you're not having to stoop down to take in information as you're driving along, which can be quite costly. Worth pointing out, air conditioning absolutely ice cold in the car. Heated seats work absolutely perfectly. Every display, everything's working on dashboard exactly as it should, and even the sort of the perspex or whatever, the plastic covering the rev counter down there is in perfect order as well. It's not been scratched or damaged or in any way. As I said at the start of the video, the point of these videos is actually to pick up on any issues that might be on the car, and we do try. So I mean, if there are issues on many of our videos, in fact where it's always been relevant, we've always picked up on them. There's nothing on this car at all that merits a mention in terms of the drive of the vehicle. It drives absolutely beautifully, and I'll be kind of reluctant to let this one go. I've got to be honest with you, I'm very happy to keep driving it. It's just such a lovely example of one of these cars, especially with the specification it's got. It's not going to be the cheapest one out there. I'm not even going to try and make it that. The price reflects the mileage, the condition, but also more importantly the massive specification on the vehicle, over and above standard. If I've missed anything on the video, then please don't hesitate to please give us a call, and I'll happily answer any questions you might have about this car.